If you're a follower of global politics, governance issues, you know that there are a couple of activities going on in Nigeria and West Africa as a whole. Unfortunately, I cannot speak about these things on YouTube because I'm pretty sure the video will get taken down. And trust me, I'm talking from experience. But thankfully, there is something I can talk about, which coincidentally could be a potential solution to the issues we're facing right now, and that is Peter Obi's final address at the tribunal. And quite frankly, this address was a very special one. It had Peter Obi and his vice presidential candidate Yusuf Datibaba Ahmed seated at the same time together with the Labour Party chairman, and we had a special guest in the house in the name of Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, one of our finest writers in Nigeria. You could just tell from the picture that they were in love with her creative mind. Anyway, I'm going to break down what went down at Peter Obi's final address at the tribunal, what happened, what didn't happen, what could have happened. Do like and subscribe. Let's get it.
Obi King to ease no eye, coming out with the music to ease your mind.
Hi guys, it's Obi King once again in the house with another video for you guys. Once again, this video and this look into the tribunal is going to be courtesy of the lovely Sarah Ibrahim. Thank you so much, Sarah, for keeping us abreast of what's going on in the tribunal. After all the preliminary back and forth which lawyers usually do, which is unique to their profession, it was agreed that each party in the tribunal would be given 10 minutes each for adoptions and 20 minutes each for oral submission of their final address. And INEC went first, represented by their own lawyer, San Mahmood. He first started by clarifying something in INEC's written address, which they said the technology introduced by the first respondents, which is Peter Obi, was misunderstood and misconstrued by the petitioners, and the purpose was not well understood. What was introduced, cited by the petitioners, is on the BVAS, which was solely used for authentication of voters and upload of results from the PU to the IREV portal. He continues to say that the evidence before the court shows clearly that the first respondents went to great lengths to ensure that the technology functioned as designed. The only points of disagreement are two. One, the petitioners have constructed in their mind that the electronic method used to collect results, and no evidence was presented to support this by the petitioners, and the first respondents, through its witness, has certified that there is nothing like electronic collation but manual collation, which was carried out impeccably. There has been no electronic collation in any election in this country because it does not exist. 2. The petitioners claim this glitch was humanly done to give room for manipulation of election results, and no evidence was given by them to prove it. We have brought evidence to show that this glitch is not unusual to technology, especially new technologies. So the first thing INEC's lawyer did is to claim that, look, the technology that was deployed for elections was only deployed for authentication of voters, and uploading of results to the IREV portal had no basis in the collation of results. Now, that's what they are trying to claim in their argument. Their second claim was that the technical glitch that they claim affected the elections was not done by a human or any human, and that the glitch could have happened at any time, so it's not their fault. They also spoke on the allegation of 88,000 blood polling unit results, saying, "My lord, the allegation of the so-called 88,000 blood results should be discarded because they do not in any way suggest that the original copies of the result sheets are also blood. They have still not provided any form EC8A original copies from their agents to prove the 88,000 blood results. My lord, the petitioners brought up the 88,000 blood issue just for dramatization without evidence." And the whole court shouts, "Ah." He went on to say that the glitch, which was for 4 hours and 15 minutes, did not affect the presidential election, and there is no evidence of any manipulation of the results, and I seek my lord to discountenance all statement of non-compliance from the petitioners. And then I guess they took the light at this point, to which one of the court justices, Justice Ugo, said this is a glitch too. So what INEC is arguing now is that the blood results do not mean that the original result sheets were blood, and that Labour Party and Peter Obi did not present the original copies as the counterparts of the blood sheets, that they presented in court. INEC now went on to speak on the 25% of FCT issue. Tinubu didn't get 25% in Abuja. Now, the 25% of FCT is in relation to the interpretation of the Constitution section 134 that candidates must score 25% on 2/3 of the state and the FCT. My lords, do not listen to approach that are not constitutional. FCT in accordance of 299 is to be taken as a state and nothing more. So that one is pretty straightforward. They are trying to say that 25% in FCT does not mean anything. So it was now time for Tinubu and Shettima's lawyer to, start his own final address. And he started by saying, my lord, let us take it that the petitioners have no case in this court. Yes, because they don't have a case here. Very strong words. He went on to cite a case in the Supreme Court and stated that case settled the matter. Then he goes on to say, let me go to the hype being made on fine, and let me draw your attention to section 1371D of the Constitution. And we have made submissions, and it says he is under a statement of debt. It's simple grammar. He didn't say was. It says he is under. It's present tense, present continuous. I'm not sure what he was trying to say. But basically, he's trying to argue that if you are fined in the past, that this section of the Constitution should not affect you. But if you are fined currently and I guess you haven't paid the fine, then that's when that part of the Constitution should affect you. He then goes on to say, my lord, the law says 10 years after any offense is gone. So even though there is anything, the law has cleared it. This is the Constitution, and in secondary school we are taught past tense and past participle and present tense. Like he's cleared to run for presidency as regarding that particular allegation. That's what he's claiming. But he didn't stop there. He said, my lord, on 25% on FCT, let me say this on bended knees. But he was still standing. Why would he say this on bended knees? Like, is he trying to beg the judge? My lord, on bended knees, my lord, FCT is like every other state. It is a state. My lord, again, the first petitioner has no local standing because the Constitution has taken him out of participating in any election rerun, even if there is going to be, because the candidate must be the candidate who has the highest number of votes and one among of the remaining candidates, which is PDP, which has the majority of votes in the state cast in the election. He is not, so he cannot even be in any rerun. Who is bringing up the issue of rerun? Like, how is this a response? Are you not admitting failure by doing this? This is very strange. Next, it was the turn of the APC lawyer, which is Fagbemi. He said, my lord, as simple as it is, I joined my learned colleagues, San Mahmood, and my leader, San Olanipekun, to say that this case should be quickly dismissed as a waste of time. Fagbemi then went on to say, if anyone wants to attack any results, there has to be polling unit by polling unit allocation and proof, because there was a glitch in polling unit A but none in B. But the petitioner said there was no glitch in their own places. They won, and they should at least have their proof but have none, and it's abysmally lacking in this case. I'm not sure what that's what they said. Now on the issue of rerun, again, which issue of rerun? Now on the issue of rerun, it should be a two-man race. And that is between the winner of the election and the runner-up, and that has nothing to do with the petitioner. They are basically begging for a rerun at this point. But obviously, they don't want Peter Obi to be involved. Fagbemi then continues to say, my lord, so on disqualification, again on the issue of disqualification, everyone can run in an election rerun as long as you've run in the election. So are they trying to counter... Are they trying to counter Peter Obi's call for disqualification of Tinubu by saying he has already run for an election? Like, are you trying to do some inception type shit on the judges. Like they're already trying to tell them the grounds for the rerun. We haven't even reached that part yet. They are responding to Peter Obi's petition, but they are saying something else. The lawyer then continued to say, my lord, on the issue of forfeiture, the court already gave the second respondent a clean bill of health on that. Then on 25% of FCT, the constitution states 25 states of the federation. Even if the candidate scores 0 in FCT, 25%, 25 states stands, and there is no dispute that the second respondent scored 25% in 29 states, and to put FCT higher would amount to constitutional absurdity. Said, yes, my lord, since time is up, let me say that INEC scored a high mark in this election. At least 50% is a pass mark, and INEC scored 90%, which is more than enough. The petitioners are only complaining about glitch. So, my lord, I seek this petition be thrown out. All right, now following this, it was time for the moment you've all been waiting for. The Labour Party lawyers, to present their response to the INEC, the APC, Tinubu and Shettima. Sanlibi started by saying, my lord, it is my submission that the respondents have labored in vain to diminish this petition. As the case of Oyetola versus INEC, where the Supreme Court said IREV is part of electoral process, my lords, I will seek your indulgence to refer you to paragraph 22 of the witness deposition of RW1, which all the respondents have preferred to ignore, and I would like to further drag them out of their uncomfortable zone. Their own witness, said the authentic portal on which results can be accessed for review or determination of the election is the IREF portal. Okay, so basically, Sanlibi referred to one of the most recent cases, which was the Osun State election, which was one of the first elections to have IREV. The Supreme Court ruled that IREV was a part of the election. So Sanlibi brought it up. Sanlibi then went on to say, my lord, INEC gave results to the petitioners to present in this court, and 88,123 of those results were blood, and they were certified by the same INEC. And some were even blank copies of A4 papers certified, and among them you have pictures certified by them. Sanlibi said, my lord, let me say this. It is my submission that a certified true copy of a document must be an exact replica of the original. Must be. There is no choice. You cannot give us blood certified true copies. INEC can only have in its custody blood blank results and not the original, and so they have no basis as to say what they used to declare that results. They only went to declare someone a winner, and they don't even have the original copies of results they certified, because it could never have been any other thing apart from blood sheets and pictures. INEC still went on to argue, after giving Labour Party blood results to present, they went on to argue that those were not the results we used to announce the president, and we have the original results we used to announce the president, but we chose to give Labour Party blood results for some reason. Like it sounds ridiculous. So Sanlibi is basically saying you can't give us certified true copies of blood results and claim that you have something else in your possession. Sanlibi goes on to say, my lord, the second respondent, which is Tinubu, forfeited $460,000 on narcotics. They don't want to hear that. Narcotics. My lord, they have been quoting section 1371D. They are trying to form a case for us and avoiding the main case, even when you focus on money laundering, which was part of the crimes of the second respondent. The narcotics should not be ignored, and the constitution is clear on such crimes. Now, on rerun, my lord, let us be clear. The only candidate who comes clear for a rerun is the first petitioner, that's Peter Obi, according to section 1313D. And my lord, in the case of Awolowo and Shagari, of course, the provision now was not available then in that case, because INEC quoted the Awolowo and Shagari case in their written statement. So Labour Party was trying to debunk that. My lord, I don't want to spend time talking about FCT because the constitution is very clear on it. None of them even define the meaning of and. I didn't hear that from any of them, whether disjunctive or otherwise, and that would lead to manifest absurdity, and they know. So that is why they ignored that and did not urge my lord to interpret the and as being disjunctive. At this point, the clerk rang the bell, which I guess means time was up. Livy then said, "My lord, I'm replying 3 people. My time is not up." Continued to say, "My lord, the petitioners have proved their case, and to the issue of non-compliance from INEC, they have no defense. They said because of toner, that's why CTZ results were blurred. 4 months later was when they explained a 4-hour glitch. Up until 29th of May, they were still giving us blurred documents of election results. 4 months after election, how can you reconcile the two? It's not possible." And at this point, one of the justices said, "Your time is up." Livy still had time to put in one more sentence. He said, "The petitioners have proved that there was no glitch whatsoever in this election. May it please my lordship." To which Justice Amani said, "Okay, we'll announce the dates for judgment to you all." That's the case. So what we are waiting for now is the final judgment. Everybody is watching the judiciary to see what their judgments would be, and it's a judgment that could make or mar the country, considering all that is going on right now. And when that day for final judgment comes, I'm sure the collective eyes and ears of Nigerians will be on the judiciary. So let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. Do like and subscribe. Once again, my name is Obi King, and I'll see you guys in the next one.